Hello there, GCSEers. We come to our second 6.2, religion and miracles. Now, obviously, most religious people believe that miracles actually happen, that God is there, so He's active in the world. A big example of this is the world's biggest religion is Christianity, and they believe that Jesus rose from the dead. Now, that obviously, as we looked at last video, breaks the laws of nature, and so therefore is a miracle. And it's also a miracle according to them because God actually gets involved in history, and millions of people all over the world believe that Jesus rose from the dead. And that's something that's obviously impossible, but the impossible becoming possible is what religious people believe there. Now, is it only God who can perform those miracles? Is it only God who can make what's impossible become possible? Some people would argue, no, it's not, that actually humans can do the same. Humans can make the impossible become possible. Let's have a look at the device that you're watching this. If you're watching this on a tablet computer or a phone, then that was seemingly impossible when I was your age. It was impossible to be able to send a message to someone across the other side of the world in seconds, and yet your phone that you're holding in your hand, or your tablet or your computer that you're watching this on, can do it immediately, just like that. And so therefore can humans make the impossible become possible? That's what we're going to actually look at today. Now, some religions believe that human beings can perform miracles. For example, Hindus, they believe that if a human being reaches a certain form of enlightenment or a certain progress towards heaven, or what they call moksha, which is escaping the wheel of reincarnation, that they can actually perform miracles. For example, humans can levitate, or in some way, you see a picture there of a human being levitating, a Hindu seemingly levitating, or seemingly tell what's going to happen in the future. So that's a human being, because they've achieved a certain level of spiritual or mental powers, that they can actually achieve that. That's something that Hindus believe. Whereas Christians believe that human beings do perform miracles, but only through the power of God. So it's God working through human beings that enables them to actually perform miracles. And if you remember this lady here, Sally McCloy, she was seemingly cured of cancer at Lourdes, and that was a cure that was performed in a human place, a place where humans go. But it was actually performed by God. God would have actually done that. Now, it's up to you there. Do you think that human beings can perform miracles, or that actually God is the only person who can perform what's seemingly miraculous? Now, therefore, we'd have to look at what we term as a miracle. Is a miracle something that breaks the laws of nature, or making the impossible become possible? Now, religious believers seemingly put miracles under four headings. Those four headings are these four headings: miracles from Scripture, miracles from tradition, miracles from history, and finally, miracles from experience. And what we're going to do over the next couple of minutes is just define each of those and give you an example. Now, Scripture is a religion's holy book, and basically lots of the holy books have miracles in them. And the one that we're going to look at today, and the one we're going to look at in lessons to come, is going to be the miracle of Jesus rising from the dead. Now, you probably all know the story, but from those people who don't, Jesus was accused of being a troublemaker and stirring up problems in Jerusalem in the first century. And what actually happened was that he was put to death by a man called Pontius Pilate. Or if you actually believe the Gospels, it wasn't just Pontius Pilate, but it was everybody. Everybody wanted Jesus to die. So he was crucified. He was crucified on the cross along with two other criminals, according to the Bible, according to Christian scripture. And then 3 days later, some women went to the tomb and they found that the stone had been rolled away. Now, each of the Gospels tells a different story, but basically, Jesus had risen from the dead, and he had become alive again and spoke to the apostles and spoke to other people, and that was a miracle, probably, if for Christians, the greatest miracle of all time. So there we have it, a miracle from Scripture that we can see there. That's our first definition. The second one is a miracle from tradition. Now, a miracle from tradition is miracles that are associated with people from a particular religion. And the one that we've looked at in Revelation, and the one that we're going to look at today, was Lourdes. Now, if you recall here, in Lourdes, a young peasant girl called Bernadette claimed to have saw a vision of Mary, Jesus' mum, 18 times. And during those 18 visions, a vision being a miracle within itself, but during those 18 visions, Mary, Jesus' mum, asked Bernadette to do a number of particular things. One of those was to dig in the ground, and when she dug in the ground, water came forth, and this water seemingly has miraculous properties. It performs miracles. So Lourdes could be associated with Mary, and therefore it's associated with traditions. So a miracle from tradition is a miracle associated with people of a particular religion. The next one is a miracle from history. Now, a miracle from history is a miracle that's happened in history that supports the truth, or supports what a what a religion claims to be true of a particular religion. Now, the one we're going to look at, I mentioned this in the last video, was the milk miracle. And what happened in the milk miracle is on the 21st of September 1995, a man had a dream in India. He had a dream that Ganesh, this is one of the Hindu gods, you can see a picture of Ganesh here, was thirsty. And so he went to his local temple at about 5 o'clock in the morning and gave Ganesh, the statue of Ganesh, some milk. And Ganesh drank the milk. And because of that, all over the world, this spread very quickly. The men, they whispered and said, "Oh my!" And for that one day only, on the 21st of September 1995, according to Hindus, and it hit the papers. You can see here some paper headlines in this country, because people in this country, Hindus in this country, went to their local temples, and the statue seemingly drank milk. Now, this, of course, is something that goes against the laws of nature. Statues all over the world can't drink milk, and yet this seemingly happened there. So this is a miracle that happened in history. It happened on the 21st of September 1995. There's documented evidence. You can go on YouTube and there's videos of the statues drinking milk. And so therefore people determine that this is a miracle from history. And finally, a miracle from experience. Now, a miracle from experience is what individual people experience through them having faith in God. So, for example, when we looked at Revelation, we looked at a man called Benny Hinn. And many people go to Benny Hinn in America, and he seemingly performs miracles, where he cures people of arthritis or many other diseases that actually afflict them, and he's able to do that. Faith healing is not just for Benny Hinn, though. Many people all over the world believe that they have been faith healed, that they go to a pastor or to a religious person, and that person cures them of whatever it is that ails them. You could also say that someone like Sally McCloy, she had a miracle happen to her that was from experience. She experienced, if you recall what she says that, I experienced a great warmth in my body, and when she went back to the doctors, the cancer had gone. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you've got our 4 types of miracles from religious believers. Miracles from scripture, from holy books, from tradition, from history, and from experience. And we're going to be doing some work on those 4 things, miracles, those 4 types of miracles. Now, this is a key thing really for religious believers. It's a question we're going to finish off with today. And that is, if there is such a thing as a miracle, something that breaks the laws of nature, something that seemingly goes against everything that we know, then surely only God can perform those kind of things, can't God? Surely humans can't do that kind of thing. Or can they? What do you think?